my name is Lindsay Gans. I'm the director of the Columbus Public Library. For our April craft, we'll be making this embroidered flower craft. So join me today as I show you how to make one of your own. In your kit, you'll have an envelope and an embroidery hoop with the fabric on it. You'll also need a pair of scissors for this craft. So the first thing you want to do is open up your envelope. And all of the materials will be inside the envelope that you'll need for this project. Okay, so we have felt squares, and you'll have 4 colors. And you'll have your embroidery thread. Your buttons. And your needle will be placed in a little cloth scrap of paper, like so. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to take a look at the materials and try to plan out the layout that you would like for your project. So I am going to put 2 taller flowers like so, and 2 smaller ones here, one in the middle, and I think my butterfly might be over here. Maybe I'll switch these around. So you can use your felt to cut petals to put underneath your buttons to get the flower shape. So I'm going to cut out some petals here. If it makes you more comfortable, you can draw right on the felt if you would like to draw your design first. Okay, got them. If you have a pair of scissors that are meant to cut fabric, they will work better than your paper scissors. So if you want to take a look around your house for a pair of those, that would be the best. Okay, so once you decide on your design, you can go ahead and lay them outside of your project in the approximate place. Take your needle. You want to thread your needle. And I like to double it up and tie a little knot in the end. All right. So I am going to start with my flowers. And then you can pull your needle through from the bottom and pull this tight to get your knot. If you want to make sure your work is really secure, you can add an extra knot in there if you're worried about it coming out. So the next thing we're going to do is to create the stems. So you can do that one of two ways. You can do a running stitch if you want a little bit of a gap as you go down. So that would be weaving your needle in and out, or you can do a back stitch if you want them connected. So a running stitch, I would go ahead and go like this and there'd be the gap. But I think I'm going to do the back stitch. So I'm going to go back to where I was for my first one, so I'll have a solid line, just like so. So if you have a fabric pen at home, you can go ahead and draw your design out if that's a little more helpful to you. And then you can decide if you want to just do stems or if you want to create any leaves. I think I'm just going to do the stems today. And there are a couple of different color strands, so you can feel free to use the same color or get a different color. If you want your stem to be a little thicker, you could go with more than one strand at a time. So this sample, I used 2 different threads and added in some leaves and some grasses and had a few different buttons, and also did some stitch work around the felt here and did some other stitch work here. And this one is a little bit simpler, and I used the buttons and had just one straight line. So you can decide what works best for you, but these are just a couple of samples of how you could lay out your work. Thanks for joining me today. Free craft kits can be picked up at the Columbus Public Library.